I just want to give a shout out to Ronan Frank. Ronan Frank is really an awesome person. They are now a part of the Annapolis Pride Board. So give Ronan a hand for that. And they are having an impact already. We had a good time this week at our Christmas party. So keep doing what you're doing, Ronan. And Ronan has been going through a lot dealing with her high school. And so keep Ronan and Kevin, their dad, and Tiffany, the mom, all lifted up this morning. I don't know if you've noticed, but there have been things happening. I just heard from Willie this morning that there was a show on NPR where someone called in and gave a shout out to our congregation. That they came here and they were pulling out seats. The article was apparently about complaints about how the Catholic Church is struggling to get people to come to church, and that, well, you come to this Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis and they're pulling out chairs. And yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And then someone sent an article to the staff about, I think it's Perry Bacon, a columnist, who basically said that go to a Unitarian Universalist church. Like after the election, if you feel bad, go to a UU church. So something's in the water. Something is really in the water. I was at a ACT meeting. We had our Christmas party this week, and we were just talking about congregations. And I said, we had 77 people in the last year, and they were like, "What? What are you doing?" And I said, that's our secret. So there's a lot of good things happening. I'm really excited about where we are, and really since the pandemic, this congregation has really been at the forefront of trying to pioneer what it means to be 21st century religion. Whatever in this world is powerful, beautiful, or glorious that you may know to have came forth from a fraction of my power and glory. The last time I spoke to you, I preached about ancient worship of the sun, and that when you got down, just look up and see the grandeur in life, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars, to something transcendent, something bigger. It's a right brain experience, that wonder, thinking about what surrounds us. And we don't know what it always means. We have no idea mostly. But we do know this: we are part of something mysterious. And at times, that something we might call life can feel cruel and unjust and overwhelming. And yet here we are, alive, aware, able to feel the pulse of what Aristotle called the first cause. I like that. Behind the sun, the cosmos, is the first cause, the prime mover, the eternal essence that puts everything seen and unseen into motion. Some call this God. The Hindus call it Brahman. Some call it life. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you call it. It's beyond names. But I find that taking time to recognize this presence helps to put things in perspective. That I am not the end all and be all of existence. That I am a part of a great wheel, a little spoke in a great wheel. Maybe I'm just a ball bearing. But I exist. And I am grateful simply to be able to contemplate the mystery. So this time of year especially calls us to think about that presence that Sarah was talking about, the holiday gatherings, the lights. We're invited to see beyond the decorations and the rituals, to think again about what we prioritize, what we appreciate, what's important. We're invited to think about the themes of goodwill and hope, connection. So if anything, the Christmas season comes as a faithful reminder that we cannot stop having goodwill and hope, stop connecting with each other, lest we lose our zeal for living. I know even as we celebrate, many grapple with personal or, corporate challenges. I know many people don't like the Christmas season. It reminds them of something, a loss. It triggers something in them. But can you do your best to try to see this time as an opportunity or even as a curiosity? And part of embracing hope is showing up fully and joyfully, being present even with the routine of it all. How many Christmas parties have you been to? I've been to 4. I've got 1 left. I've done 3 white elephants. And when you go to, our staff has this Christmas party every year, and every year we have to explain how the white elephant thing works. And I'm thinking, like, we do this every year. We know how it works. And every year somebody doesn't remember how it works. The last person gets to steal 1 more time, okay? Not 2 more times, 1 more time. I have 1 more party on Monday, and then I am done. I said that with a little too much joy. It gets novel. It's hard to find joy again and again in the routine. It takes some effort. It requires us to look at it again with a fresh perspective, to rediscover meaning. What if you had to prepare for the last 20 years of your life for Christmas parades and Christmas concerts, and you started playing Christmas music in July? Justin. Who works for the Naval Academy, and they have a fantastic concert at Constitution Hall every year. Do you still have tickets? All gone. Fantastic. 2 Saturdays, 1 Sunday, fantastic concert, and Justin is not that excited about it. And I understand, but I hope this message can help you. And that's the point I want to talk about. To be holy, W-H, holy, and holy, with an H, present. It is said that where I receive the holy, W-H, holy other, I am fundamentally changed. Holy, W-H, referring to completeness, totality, fullness. The other, holy other, meaning, in this case, the divine. It's a theological statement. Where I receive the fullness thereof, of the holy, I am fundamentally changed. It should change me. But if I'm not open to receive, if I'm just going through the day to day, not paying attention, I will miss the holy other. That should call me to gratitude and thanksgiving. But we miss it. We're not present. We're too busy. We're too worried. We haven't turned off that autopilot. So we can't really engage with what is in front of us. If you're listening to me right now and if you're hearing me, you are present. Thank you. But if your mind is wandering, not something about the sermon, but wandering about all the stuff you've got to do after service, right? You're not present. Be here now, right now. Be here with me right now, just for this moment. Because that other stuff will be there. To receive the holy other, I have to be willing to look at the mundane and the plain and the everyday and find something new. Scripture says you have to be born again. You have to wake up again to the possibilities. That's how you experience the holy other. My stepson Parker has a new really good job. It pays really well and has odd hours. And he said the hardest part about the job is trying to figure out how to get past the boredom. And I said to him, that sounds a lot like life. But he too, even in that boredom, can experience the fullness of life. He can look at the mechanisms, the things that he's dealing with every day and find something new to be curious about. There's so many things to go so many levels deep. Cheese. Raisins, I don't know. Shoes. But most of us, instead of allowing ourselves to sit with that boredom's actually good for you, to sit with it and to be curious, we keep ourselves entertained. We go get that dopamine fix, spending money. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying other people. It's a lot cheaper to get that dopamine fix just by sitting still, stopping and staring. You can find joy right there. When was the last time you were wholly, fully, completely, totally present with another person, place, or thing? Think about it. Was it a conversation you had where you were really listening? Was it watching a sunset? Was it some experience at work? Just breathing, hearing you, listening to your breath. I know it's not easy. The mind is cluttered with worries, noise. But the profound thing you're searching for oftentimes is not out there, it's right here. And maybe when you're at the dinner table this holiday season, at those holiday gatherings, or even shopping in a busy mall, maybe the Christmas concert, maybe you will find the holy other and see things so differently. And then you might have a holy, with an H, experience of that holy presence. The holy with an H is about something, the sacred, the divine, the transcendent. To be wholly present is to approach life with reverence. To recognize that in each moment, there's a spark of the divine, that Brahman is everywhere. Lift a rock and it is there. Seeing every encounter with another human being, even the nasty ones. Seeing your time with nature and as an opportunity to connect to something greater. When we're fully and divinely present, we see the sacred in unexpected places, in a stranger's smile, the sounds of children, the resilience of someone going through something difficult. And this is when you get a glimpse of what Martin Buber, the theologian, talked about, the I-thou relationship. Not the I-it. The I-it is that othering, not the holy other, but the othering as people as things, people as widgets, people to be used, problems to be solved through others. But the I-thou relationship is sacred. People are seen as equals. It's the namaste. You see the divine in the other. People infuse with the holy. And that's when we truly encounter the spirit of life. And the world doesn't make it easy. It's so easy to other with a small o, not with a big O, to other people. You turn on the news, you see war, you see greed. I've turned the news off. I know the ratings on NBC have plummeted, and CNN. We all have kind of shut it down. We had to. Because you watch it, and I was starting to feel like I was starting to understand what my friends in the black church and that I grew up in would say the devil is busy. I start thinking maybe I'm starting to believe in the devil again. The Gnostics called it the demiurge, that this planet was run by a lesser deity that deals in illusions. And I started looking at this world and how devilish it is. And I had to turn off the news because I was starting to think. I was starting to mythologize and create a being because things just seemed so backwards. And as I turned off the news, I realized that things aren't as bad as they feel when I have the news on. I was getting to the point of saying, what is the point? Have you been there? What's the point? And the despair, when it creeps in, instead of blaming, I turned off that news. I turned to my relationships, the quality relationships. I turned to the people, places, and things that make me smile. I leaned into the practice of deep listening. Each connection became sacred. And I can catch a glimpse of what the Bhagavad Gita is saying, the eternal presence that sustains all things, the divine seed within every life. So how do we cultivate it? I have listed some things. I have a slide I want to put up. That just pause and breathe before entering any situation. Take a few deep breaths. To practice gratitude, this one's tried and true. Even when it's hard, it transforms the mundane into the sacred. To listen deeply when someone speaks, turn toward them. Don't talk to them like this. Turn your body, your energy toward them. Let them know that you're listening with your heart. The namaste, seek the divine in others. Even in the difficult interactions, ask yourself, what can I learn from this moment? Create sacred space. Whether you're lighting a candle for yourself or someone else, prayer, meditation, quiet time, pausing to reflect, a nap. And as Sarah says, prioritize those big rocks. What's most important when you feel everything pulling away from you? Remember what's important, your health, your connections, the things you love. We can commit this holiday season to be holy and wholly present. We can show up for each other in our I-thou connection, to find the divine in the ordinary, to remember what's truly important to us. May we see the power and glory in each other, ourselves, and in the world around us. May we live holy, WH, and holy with an H, today and always. Amen.